Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about how to drink more water. So everyone knows they should be drinking more water, but the problem is that it's actually very difficult to make that change into your life because it's actually very inconvenient to get enough water into your body. So I'm going to talk to you about how I've managed to increase my water intake. I used to be someone who didn't drink very. I was one of those weirdos who just not really drink water. You know, like maybe I have a glass with each meal, but just barely drank water at all. And now I'd say I'm pretty much drinking on a good day. On a good day, it doesn't happen all the time, but on a good day, I can drink 3 to 4 liters pretty easily. And it's all because of these secrets I'll share with you. So number one is get a big water bottle, protein shakers, something like this. That's going to be your sort of Bible of, not your Bible, your holy grail of drinking water. So you want to just carry it around with you everywhere, basically. A lot of people have water bottles like this when they're at the gym or something, but they won't necessarily, if they go study, they won't have water there. Just get in the habit of taking it with you. Make sure it's watertight, because then there's no fear about worth getting a good one. And there's no fear about it leaking in your bag and shit like that. So that means you take it everywhere. So that's number one thing to get down. Number two is to make the water itself more drinkable. Now this might sound silly to a lot of people, but I'll just explain. So I think a lot of the reasons why people don't drink water very much is because often it's not a very pleasurable experience if you just drink it from tap water. It's funny, if you go to different countries, often they just won't drink out of tap water because they think the quality of water is so bad. Obviously in the UK we do, and that's fine. But I think if you have like water that actually tastes nice, I know that sounds silly, but water that actually tastes nice, it's much better, and you're more sort of motivated to drink it. So one thing I've done recently that has massively improved my enjoyment of drinking water is to acidify it. So basically, and just bear with me because I know it sounds silly, but basically the water I think in the region I am at the moment is very alkali. So what you can do is get a few lemons, just chop them up, and add them to one of these. And it's really weird, but after I did that, it just kind of tasted more like water because the citric acid from the lemons neutralised the alkali content in the water. So it kind of tasted, yeah, that's about right. So I think, as I understand it, water is meant to be at a pH of 0 anyway, so that makes sense. But yeah, chucking some lemons or something like that, or this might sound a bit strange to you guys, but I'm thinking of putting some oranges and stuff like that in there, makes a difference. And also, it sounds silly, but even if it's not particularly warm, I find just having some ice cubes, like buying one of those ice trays, just filling it with ice cubes, it's a much more pleasant experience drinking it. So look into that kind of stuff if the water quality, it depends where you are in the UK, like some water's really good, some water's really bad. Both places where I've lived, in Essex and in Manchester, both have horrendous, really hard water, as I understand it. So little techniques like this are more important. So yeah, that's something to bear in mind. If the actual drinking of the water is very pleasurable, then you're going to drink more water. I'm a big believer in this just generally. You want to make sort of nasty things as fun as possible so that you actually do them. And rather than relying on discipline, which you will need to do, but rather than relying on that, you can just actually do a few simple things so that actually you'll just do it automatically because it's a positive thing all of a sudden that you're doing. So that's number 2. And then number 3, this is going to sound a bit more ridiculous, but it's one that's definitely impacted me a lot. So you might be in a position where you've got like a weak bladder, where any water you drink you're just kind of punished for because you instantly need a piss. And this is my problem for a long while. I think it's part of why I haven't drunk so much water, is because like my sort of I just get punished for it because, like, let's say I'm in a car journey or something, I'm always that dickhead who needs a piss, and it just motivates you to not drink at all because you're like, well, I'm just gonna need a piss in a few hours and it's gonna be annoying. And it's especially bad if you drink lots of water close to beds and then you get woken up in the middle of the night because you're going to piss yourself and you used to run to the toilet and that ruins your sleep the next day. So things you can do to mitigate that, number one, is something I'm not doing at the moment but I will do very soon, is Kegel exercises. And this is basically about strengthening the muscle group that works the bladder. So a lot of reasons why people like me always need to piss all the time is because they've got a weak bladder. The muscles, I think the muscle group is called Kegel, well, whatever. That muscle group hasn't been strengthened, and you can't really strengthen this group by normal like leg exercises because it's a different muscle group. So there are sort of things you can do to exercise that. I'll do some videos later. This is almost a to-do list to sort out for myself. So I'll put some links about this in the future. I'll do some videos about this. But the other thing you can do is to sort of schedulize your water drinking. So just to drink a lot of water in the morning and make that like a sort of thing to tick off your list. Because then there's no problem if you need to go for a piss during the day while you're working or whatever. It's not so much of a problem. And so you can sort of endure the negative thing of it's not such of a big deal that you need a piss at that point, is what I'm getting at. So that's another thing you can do. And yeah, so those are my tips really. I suppose the only other thing I'd add is really understand how important hydration is. You know, the impacts it has on your face, on your testosterone, stuff like this. But I'd imagine you probably, like, generally that sort of knowledge is already there. You just need these kind of methods to kick you up the arse with it a bit. So yeah, that's my tips. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.